Alright, hey everyone, it's Castle. Okay, more Hellbreaker stuff going on right now. So, right now, I want to go over some thoughts that I've had about the level. I took a couple days off from working on it. Now I'm gonna... And I had a couple of thoughts, so I'm just gonna go over those right now. The frame rate hitchiness is just because of the way I'm recording it. It's screen cap, not directly, direct footage from the game. Which causes a little bit of hitchiness. The game is not this choppy. Anyway, so I left off, giving you a pretty good view of what's going on in here. I am now fully aware that keys and key cards are going to be part of the game, because I did talk about that with NX. I'm changing the flow, or at least I'm thinking about the flow in terms of keys and doors, which is sort of a feature creep, because once you do that, you probably want to have a mini-map too. But anyway, not even think about that for now. So when you come out, you see into this area here, these are all barred off, and there's the plasma rifles up there. One of my first thoughts, or one of the thoughts that I've been kind of having about things, is that this upper area is a dead end, and it's only accessible as a secret. So if you go through here, which is fine, I guess, it's not terrible that it's a dead end, but it's a little weird too at the same time, because usually something like this is like a significant portion of the level. Like you have to go up here and maybe go down into a room down here or something to get a key card or some thing like that, which maybe I should do that. With that said, you come through here, maybe this won't be a secret anymore. There's also the other aspect of it too. There's a bridge here, right? This bridge takes you to here, which would be a secret door. So this may actually just not be a secret door anymore. It may actually just be part of the regular flow. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do about it, but it's going to take a little bit more thought. Yeah, maybe it should just be like an alternate path. Like you can just go that way and kind of wind around, which then really would marginalize this area out here. Well, not really, because the chain gun's still down in the bottom, right? All right. So you jump down from here. You grab the chain gun, which is here. Now I'm going to make sure that this door is red. Is a red key card door. That door up there is red key card, and this door right here is red key card. Or let's just a key card of some type. I don't know if they'll be color coded or anything like that. So the player will see these doors, and they'll have to have some kind of a unique marking on them to indicate to the player, hey, this is a door that only opens up with this key, right? So we're gonna actually have to have some kind of graphics. Maybe I could do lighting over the doors temporarily, but we're gonna have to get doors. So the player will be fighting all this stuff out here, and will notice, these doors. Undoubtedly, usually, this is a path that leads up to here. It's like, what is that? With that in mind, I was thinking of when you come down here for the first time, you'll see the red key card right there. So you can grab your armor and you look up, there's a red key card. And you're like, huh, I don't even know why I need that. So this is a little bit of a weird situation, because I haven't even showed you a door that you need to open yet. I'm probably overthinking it, but it's a weird situation, because I'm presenting you the solution before you even know what the problem is. But that's not really that bad, because when people get into the mode of find key, open door, they always look at a key as a solution, and they'll always assume that means that there's going to be a red door somewhere. So it's not like a huge big faux pas or anything like that. The key will be there, and it also allows you to jump back down and kind of explore around here again. It's possible that I might make this the secret. So like, you press use here on this wall, and then you'll be able to go up here. I'm gonna be thinking about it while I'm building this. So yeah, you get the red key card, and now this area in here, you open up, is very like there's bad guys pretty much around here. There might be a bigger dude back here, kind of walking towards you. It's sorry for the darkness. It's really unlit right now, but this will be a yellow door in a staircase here. There will be a yellow door here and a yellow key card up there, right? So it's going to be a job of trying to figure out how to get up there, which is going to involve going around this way, maybe even jumping on some stuff, like, and kind of working your way up to that part up there. This place is just going to be mostly just boxes and bad guys. Boxes and bad guys. And that's pretty much what's going to be going on here. So it's a pretty big change from the other area. It'll still be pretty challenging. And there's 3 different entrances that you can come in on this area. So like you can even come in from here and drop down. Maybe drop down, and maybe there's items that you normally can't get to on some boxes that are too high to get on. Like right there, kind of makes you want to like figure out how to get to it. Yeah. So I like this because the door and the problem and the solution are sitting right next to each other. So once you open up this door, then you go into the next area, which is basically a drop down into a really challenging fight that will allow you to jump back down from over here. Like there'll be like a path where you can like jump back down and revisit the rest of the level again. The really hard fights basically is going to boil down to basically just being sort of a combat room with some pillars and stuff like that, and these like Reaper bad guys. Another thing about the level is that it needs to include all of the weapons. I might modify some of the flow to accommodate all of the weapons, so there's going to be a decent number of different types of guns floating around. Now there is another thing that I could do. I could explore the idea of making up here not a secret, but rather like another key that you need to get. I'm going to think about it. So there's a lot of stuff that's kind of, I have a lot of stuff in mind and some basic complaints, like if that ends up being a secret up there, then I probably don't want this bridge anymore, but I like the bridge, so I'm probably going to keep it. This area here needs to have like a cooler looking backdrop. This is the sort of thing where you'd put a model up here or something that's really cool. Like, could use some organic like rocks and stuff. That's pretty much everything that I have in mind at this point in time, and I will be getting to work. Let's get started. Alright, so I just want to kind of update on some stuff that went on during the last phase I was doing this. I ended up coming up with some ideas that significantly modify the flow of the map. I decided to just make this open, and instead of having these two doofy guys getting stuck on the fucking geometry over here, now they're a bunch of badass guys across on the opposite end firing fireballs into this area. One of the things that I was worried about before, like I mentioned it probably a few videos back, where it felt like this outside area had no attachment to the inside area. Well, it occurred to me. I was just like thinking about it. I'm like, why don't I just open this up and make it a little bit more free flowing, right? You still have the desire to get down here. Now notice that this is the machine gun one. Like I said, one of my goals for this is to make sure that I get more guns, like all of the guns needed for the demo, into this level. So you have this actually makes this sequence out here a lot harder, which is good. That's fine, but at the same time, there are more guns placed throughout the level. Here's the grenade launcher, so if you get up here, the grenade launcher is kind of a good spot for firing down grenades if you know how to get to that spot. And I can totally leave all of this intact here. Oh yeah, I completely forgot that I gotta make this a door, which it already is. Yep, it pretty much is, so I'm just put that at speed. Boom. Alright. And that's a secret, and that'll get you to the plasma rifle, which is up here. Alright, so there's a secret in the map already. That's where the red key is going to be, or whatever key. And you have the machine gun now. If you take this door up here, you'll notice that it's locked off, like there's a gate. One of the reasons why I ended up doing this is so that you can't just skip doing this whole entire area by just jumping off on this here and then getting this. This is where the yellow key is going to be located, and I kind of like this too because it's like there's the door that you need the key to open. The only reason why I don't like this is that unless the key is very visible, you know, the key is going to have to be very visible. Otherwise, players are not going to make the connection, or they might not even notice that there's a door up there, or that there's a key up there. So I'm a little concerned about that. And I fleshed this area out a lot more, and literally the next thing that I'm going to be doing when I work on this is I'm just going to be getting this area filled with monsters and ammo and all of that stuff. There's going to be tougher monsters now because the player is much more well armed, whereas I kind of took out, it might have been a mistake to do this, but I took out a lot of the other bad guys, the big ones that were just kind of rushing through. The reason why is I want to make the final encounter feel significantly different than, or at least reasonably different than the first big fight. So I want this area to be kind of sort of like a you know, just a lot of bad guys to kill. Like you're just mowing dudes down and they're shooting fireballs at you, and you have a weaker gun, so it's like blah, 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 blah. There's a couple of those bigger guys. Well, there aren't any actually right now. They're just fireball guys and these missile guys. Maybe I could add a couple more of these to make up for it. So once you go through, you open up this key door here, and let me go ahead and just do that right now. Alright, 1.9 because I don't want it to open into the geometry. 2 is the standard speed for the door. Negative 90, which I'm not really even sure how that makes any sense, but it does. I forgot to mention this when I was up here. This is blocked off, but there's a drop down here. See? and that gets you the chain gun, some more armor, like that. It's like I mentioned before, there would be like a spot that you can't reach. Now, hopefully, the player isn't so fast that he can just like jump across and like grab everything anyway. Like that wouldn't be the most horrible thing to happen, actually, but it would be lame enough that I would want to try to fix it. You traverse this mess of death because I basically want it to be just dudes like on crates standing and shooting down on you. Like I want the player to kind of feel a little bit like you're just pow pow pow, you know, pow pow. Oh, there's another guy, pow pow. You know what I mean? Like kind of have that kind of like what the fuck, and then like an enemy's already behind you, and you have to turn around real quick. Pow pow, fuck, stupid asshole. And then you just, you know, you kind of go at that sort of pace. Once you go up this, which for most people is probably not going to be immediately obvious. They're going to be that's why I wanted these boxes to be pretty visible. But I'll make sure that I put some like lighting here or something to indicate that you can do it. You get up here, kill a couple more guys, and then you'll see the key card and you can jump across. Alright, so you get that, and there's the yellow door, drop down, and you go in here. Okay, so this outside area, I want it to resemble Dead Simple from Doom 2, which is a map where it won't be exactly like, it's not symmetrical kind of a thing like that, but it's just sort of like there's like raised up platforms with dudes shooting down at you, and it's just a big space, and then there's like an outer big space, and that and just as much shit I can throw at you as possible, and I give you the rocket launcher. I hand it to you, the rocket launcher, and it's basically like you just drop down and that's it. You get started. Maybe it'll be kind of like a, you know, you open the door and then there's just like a drop down, like right here, and then you can enter the area, and then it's time to just get, you know, serious. You grab the rocket launcher and then you just fight, and I just throw as much cool shit as I can and make the fight as dramatic as possible in a fairly open space. And that's that. And then exit switch, done. I'm pretty happy so far with things. I guess I'll have to see what feedback is going to be. Of course, too, like if anybody, you know, who's watching this, if you have any ideas or anything like that, let me know. I feel a little bit like I've been taking a little bit too long. Like I've been taking too long of breaks between sessions, and I feel like this week I'm just gonna powerhouse this motherfucker. I'm gonna get it in a really good state. So for tonight, I'm gonna call it a night. But now I know, like I spent most of the night just thinking, like what am I gonna, like how am I gonna make this work? But I think I got it now. The only loose end that I'm not really happy with is up here, and I might actually recommend, you know, having like a mega armor or a mega health or something like that. The only thing is that at the same time, why do everything just because it wasn't Doom? That was kind of the thought when with the keys and doors. It's just that keys and doors are so easy, and they modify the flow of a map so dramatically. The player has to kind of memorize, and it's, you know, it creates this like flow to it that's really, it's much more interesting. I think I'm gonna call it a night now, and the rest of the map at this point. This is a sprint. I know what I want. I know how this is going to happen. Like I know the general flow. I got the weapons in place. I think this is the final stretch. I can get this motherfucker in place and get everything in a functional state. So let me stop rambling and stay tuned for more.
Back from the dead.